Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another podcast. And today we want to talk about a topic that came up on Twitch, as it usually does, which is about fast track living or living fast in the modern world. So, in our modern society, it looks like we're all trying to live, or we are forced to, or learn to live fast, do everything quickly, move to the next one, multitask, and so on and so forth. So, usually the people that live in big cities are the ones that live this fast. Towns, villages have slower rhythms, which is kind of natural, of course. But let's see how somebody could have a very fast day, right? So you wake up in the morning, you have a quick shower, you might grab a bite instead of a breakfast, you run down to your car, you try and get to work as fast as you can, you might just, cross one of those traffic lights with orange instead of green. You might cut someone a little bit to gain 2 seconds. Then you go to work and you don't gonna wait for the lift because it's slow. You're gonna run upstairs. You're gonna try and do as much work as you can, multitasking as fast as you can for many reasons. You want to finish more work. You want to look good. You want to be on top of the rest of the employees there. And when you're done, 8-9 hours later down the line, rushing, stressing throughout the whole day just to get as much work as you can done. Then you have to rush home, maybe go to the supermarket, do some laundry, do some cooking, do some cleaning. And by the time you realize it, it's already night and you haven't done anything. And when you think about it, you still feel like there's a ton of things you still have to do, And in the same way, because you do a lot of gaming on Twitch, people try and rush through games, try and get to the final level as fast as possible, try and get the best gear as fast as possible. And then comes the time when people say, hey, have you seen this? No. Have you done this? No. Have you did, because it's just that the most efficient multitasking thing to get there. And this is the whole point here, that when you see this from a perspective of numbers, efficiency, outcome, output, yeah, multitasking and running is the correct thing to do, the right thing to do, if you see it from, a statistic point of view. But when you look at it from a person's point of view, I think that it's kind of wrong, because what have you done for yourself today? So you have to make some realizations, because running this fast also creates a lot of stress. As we know, stress is a killer, which I'm going to talk about this a bit later, because stress is really, we made it a killer. Is a misconcepted concept. I think we understand this wrong. But so being a person and running through things, creating stress. Personally, from a personal experience, I came to realize a few things, and I've slowed down my life, and I have to say it's a lot better. The number one thing I've realized is that if I die this second, the world is still going to be here whether I run or not. It's not going to end, right? The other thing I realized is whether I do 8 things today, or I do 11 things today, or 100 things today, tomorrow morning I'm still going to have to do 100 things. It doesn't change, because all the tasks and chores and all the jobs and things we have to do, they're never ending. There's always a new one, something new, something more. So it's best if you do 8 things well and slow and keep yourself rested, rather than do 11 and 12 and just be exhausted and have no time for yourself. Especially if you have kids or family you want to look after. I think the expression will say that says that, you cannot take care of anyone more than you can take care of yourself. So you really need to reach a level you take care of yourself before you can take care of others. And you can only take care of them to the level you take care of yourself. So what I want to say about this is, take a moment and smell the roses. Wake up 10 minutes earlier, have a proper breakfast, start your day slow. When you come back home, take 50 minutes, 20 minutes and rest. Don't just rush from one job to the other. And try and make some choices. What's the urgent ones? Do the 5 urgent things, not 20 things. Slow down a little bit, enjoy a few things. And that way, spend more time with your kids, with your wife. Watch a sunset or a movie, I see a lot of people that sometimes come to the stream and they're like, oh, I'm depressed today, I'm stressed today, I don't feel well, I have too much work. And all I hear every day is too much work, too much work. And yes, I may be a streamer and I sit home, but I still have a lot of things to do as well, as strange as that might sound. And I have worked in sales, in small shops, in takeaways. I have worked in big businesses, um, you know, management positions and all this. Hotels in the summer, reception and ordering and all this. I know how busy it can get, but still, you're always going to have things to do. So make some choices, take it easy, because you are stressing yourself too much, and sometimes it's not necessary. And the funny thing is, there's people out there that have two jobs and they still have more time for the kids, the families themselves, to sit down and have a proper meal and a proper breakfast than people that have one job and live alone and they're still rushing and stressing through things. So take your time, guys. Enjoy a few things in life, because it is very short, and by the time you realize it, it might be too late to enjoy some things. And this is one reason I think it just came to mind why grandparents enjoy the grandkids so much. It's because when they had their own kids, they were so busy stressing and running that they didn't have the time to spend time with them, enjoy them growing up, and have that experience. So now that they have the time because they're retired and they realized, I'm done, there's not a lot of things to do, let the other people do it. They like spending time because it's an enjoyable thing to do. Watch the kids grow and play and this and that. So I think we all need to slow down. Another benefit of slowing down a little bit, and I'm not talking about stop doing your jobs, right? Don't take me wrong. I'm just saying, don't do 10 things, do 9 or 8, just do them well and say, that's it. That's my quota for the day, man. That's it. Is the fact that I found out after I really quit my job and went to full-time streaming that my mind opened up. Like, now I have time. Now that I've slowed down, I have time to sit down and just say, what do I want? And that is a question I'm certain a lot of people won't be able to answer. Because once you are running all day, stress from somebody else's task, business, jobs, house, and all this, you don't really sit down and say, what do I want to do? Do I want to go to the supermarket? I don't know. Or do I want to watch a movie? You just go to the supermarket is the next thing on the list. You don't think. You just react to the list of things that you have to do throughout the day. I mean, you could go tomorrow to the supermarket and watch a movie, but you just don't have the time to think. So definitely, take a moment, sit down and see what you want to do. And I found out after slow down with the streaming that my mind has like more relaxed, and I can sit and say, hold on a second, why am I stressing? I don't need to do this. I want to do this. I must do that as well, but I'll do it later. It's not important. It's not a rush. You need to prioritize in order to create time. And like I said, things will never end. There's always things to do. So that brings me a little bit now to stressing, because I do have a friend comes to the stream and he's always stressed about job and how many things he has to do and this and that. And as I said a bit earlier, we'll say stress is a killer. Stress is not a killer. Stress is what we made it. All right. I think stress has a bad rep and it shouldn't really. As you do know, some of you know, I'll go through some panic attacks and stress management because I have some issues as well. So I have to say that stress is not our enemy. Stress is our friend. Stress is a mechanism, a very old mechanism of the body, which you increase your respiration, your adrenaline, you get pumped up in order to face whatever danger is coming your way. That's what stress is. It's an awakening of the body to prepare you to face the danger that's coming to you. Now, in modern society, of course, we don't have dangers such as predators coming to kill us, at least unless you have a stalker or something. But what the mind perceives as stress is the fact that if you don't finish your task, your boss is going to shout at you. When your boss calls you to their office, that's danger in your mind. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get scolded. I'm going to, all these kind of things. Or you want to talk to a woman, you're like, oh, I'm stressing out because is he going to say no? Your brain starts perceiving all these things as danger, and you're stressing out, and your body, because it feels that danger, is trying to prepare you to face it. So instead of trying to fight it, because that's what we do. We get stressed and we try to fight it. We're trying to eject out the respiration, the pumping, the adrenaline, and we are fighting our own body. The body's trying to get you ready and you're trying to punch it internally and tell it, no, get down. You're fighting your own body there. And that's why stress is a killer. If you accept it, okay, you're breathing fast, good. More oxygen. I'm ready. My brain is working. My cells are working. It's good. I'm ready to go and face my boss. I'm ready to go and talk to that woman. It will be better. You won't have those stress effects as much, and you won't have those psychosomatic symptoms. Stress is a friend, and in our mind has so much power that we make it evil or we make it good. There's a lot of talks, if you want to Google it and find it, on TED about this specific topic from scientists, that stress is a friend. And also, if you talk about your stress problems, why are you stressing to someone, it helps you manage better, it helps you be healthier, and things like that. So if speed is the thing that giving you the stress, welcome stress, slow down, open your mind a little bit through resting. Take a moment to think what you want to do in life, what you want to do today, do some priorities, reduce the amount of things you do without, of course, becoming, a slacker. You're still going to have to do your work and all this, but do it in your own pace and make sure it's enough, because these things will never end. I'm hoping that this podcast will possibly help some people, but mainly I want to use this as a reminder to myself to keep reminding me that I need to actively remind myself to slow down. I'm doing this podcast today, which is Saturday, October the 2nd, and yesterday I was, on Thursday, I was saying to my stream that, I'm going to stream on Saturday. I wanted to do more because, I'm playing a new game. There's a lot of people trying to get the stream up there. And then I came to realize, hold on a second, I don't want to stream 7 days a week because I'm already tired. I want to take Saturday and do my podcast, sleep a little bit longer, need to slow down. Stream will still be there tomorrow. If people are going to show up, they're going to show up. There's no need to exert myself, because then the next week I'm going to be even more tired, and it's going to go down and spiral down. You need to take your breaks. You need to slow down. So I'm slowing down today, chilling, doing this podcast and other things, without being on camera and, do what I do. So even if you do listen to this and you somehow maybe realize the things I did, which I think can help people to slow down and look after themselves a little bit, you also need to make sure that the rhythms of life and your friends and family and surroundings are going to be speeding around you, not going to engulf you again into getting to do things fast and fast. So I hope I'm going to keep this podcast and remind myself that every now and then you need to slow down a little bit and look after yourself. Like I said before, sorry I'm repeating a few things, but spend more time with your kids, with your wife. Go and watch a sunset. No music, no cars, no nothing. Just go up in a hill or a park and relax. Clear your mind. Think what you want. It is important you guys look after yourselves. And unfortunately, society today will not let you, from work, bills, taking care of houses, and everything is just running fast. And the other thing about running fast is that sometimes we do things that we don't realize. Like you buy a lot of things you don't need because they get caught up in the moment of speed. I see that a lot in gaming. People buy a game, they play a week in the most efficient way. They go to the end and it's like they're all alone there. It's like no one still has caught up from the slower people, and they quit the game and they go to a new one. They buy a new one and they go fast again, and still, they feel they finished the game when they haven't explored half of it. And the same thing can happen in life. You can run through it and haven't explored, who your kids are, who your wife is, haven't traveled, haven't tasted more food, haven't enjoyed food, because food, which I love, being a fat bastard, it's something you need to enjoy slowly, not fast. It's not, an espresso down the hatch and you go, or you get some finger food and you go. No, that's just sustenance, Enjoying food, you need to sit down, chew it slowly, mix it with some wine, take the time to appreciate the flavors, the smells, and we should do the same thing in life. Take the time to appreciate the flavors, the smells a little bit. Don't get caught up in this tornado of speed and efficiency. It's needed every now and then, but I'm sure that you can do the same things you do right now if you slow down a little bit and you have a better living. At least it works for me. And since these are kind of like my internal conversations with myself, Fixer, Mike, slow down. It is time to slow down again because you were speeding. So that's all I want to talk about, man. That's the thing I want to get off my chest there and remind myself to slow down. I hope you guys can look in the mirror, look in your lives, and see if you need to slow down a little bit and look after you. I'll see you next time.